And now, coming to you live from the Smoky Mountain Wrestling Studios just right off the main highway. This is the Smoky Mountain Wrestling Sunday Sit Down. Covering all the news inside the Smoky Mountain Wrestling Galaxy. And now your host, Nicholas Eakes.
Hello everyone and welcome to Smoky Mountain Wrestling Presents Sunday Sit Downs with your host, me, Nicholas Eakes. So tonight we actually have a couple of things we have to talk about. First of which we have a pre-recorded interview with John E. Smith, the former general manager of Smoky Mountain Wrestling. We filmed with him right before Christmas time. Right before Christmas rather. We haven't really been able to get a hold of him to get his reaction of what happened after the interview. We'll touch on that here in just one second. But we also are going to talk about the show tomorrow night. It's going to be Smoky Mountain Wrestling presents the Wofford College in Jerry Richardson Arena in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Okay, so that's going to be tomorrow. It's going to be January the 3rd, 2022. We have matches like Peter Pan versus Jack Frost, Matt Burns versus Swamp Ass, I Am Righteous versus Schizo, and there's a Fatal 4-Way match, and then there is a tag team match as your main event of the evening, and there also is Brian Nix versus the Iron Bison. Brian Nix, oh gosh, that's going to be a good one. But first off, we're going to talk about a couple of things that have gone on here in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Like, for instance, I don't know if any of you saw it. I hope you did, because if you missed it, wow, it was good. It was good. I'm sorry that you missed it. It may still be up on Smoky Mountain Wrestling on John E. Smith's page on the, his profile on the page. So if you guys go over there and click that, oh yes, you should be able to find it. So, if you didn't miss it, you know what I'm talking about. But if you did miss it, you might want to go watch it. So it was IMR cutting a promo for an open challenge for his title. And about that time, here comes a luchador, the wrestler, and he actually won the title from Ivan Righteous. Oh my goodness, that was so devastating. That was a crazy one. So now, your new Smoky Mountain Wrestling World Heavyweight Promo Champion of the world is none other than a luchador, the wrestler. As I said, guys, in this interview, we were not able to get a hold of John E. Smith afterwards to get his reaction. I think he's just trying to lay low right now because this just devastated everyone. And honestly, I wouldn't doubt him. I wouldn't shame him or anything, because these are two scary guys, and if those are two scary guys, and I wouldn't want them coming after me either, so I think he's just trying to lay low, and that's understandable. So, we are going to go ahead and give you that, we're going to talk a little bit about the card right now. So, right now, we're going to be talking about matches for tomorrow's show. Tomorrow, we have Peter Pan versus Jack Frost. Now, I know a lot of you know that Peter Pan and Jack Frost were once a very dominant team here in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, known as Animation Domination. Oh yeah, they were a very, very dominant team here, and look at where they're at now. They're having a match. Peter Pan turned his back on what he called his best friend, Jack Frost. So that was a devastating move there. Oh, and that feud has just been heating up tremendously. We have Matt Burns, which is 1/3 of the EWO, versus Swamp Ass. And Swamp Ass is currently having this match with Matt Burns to see if he can be the 4th member of the Too Sweet, Too Elite forever, the EWO. That right there is going to be a great match. I cannot wait to see what happens. Then we have Ivan Righteous versus Schizo. This is a never-before-seen match. This right here, oh my goodness. Schizo has been with Smoky Mountain for a while. He had to take some time off for some personal reasons, but now he's back. So we are really, really excited to see this match with Schizo's return to Smoky Mountain Wrestling. We have a fatal four-way for the Smoky Mountain Wrestling Hardcore Championship. We have the Brain, Scott Larson, versus Tro Renegade, 1/3 of Hell Incorporated, versus Rajax, versus your Hardcore Champion, Mercenary Marvin. Oh my gosh, guys, that's going to be a really good match. Then this one right here I'm really excited for. It's the Iron Bison versus Brian Nix. Oh wow. Now I guess this isn't going to be I don't know if this is going to be a title match or what. But oh wow, even if it's not, this right here is going to be a match you do not want to miss. The Iron Bison is the newest up and comer as far as singles competitors right now here in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. So this guy has been making waves across the E-Feds as of late, and this guy is absolutely amazing in the ring and on the microphone. So that's going to be a really good one. But the most excited match, the most talked about match of the week, is going to be your main event of the evening, and it's going to be your tag team title match. It's going to be Dalton Riggs and El Luchador, the wrestler, the Too Sweet, Too Elite forever. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the EWO versus Smoky Mountain's own Mr. Pissoff and his tag team partner. I believe it's his son. It's going to be Compton Mania. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is the match that I'm most excited to see, because oh my goodness, you've got this. Oh goodness, you just don't want to miss this, ladies and gentlemen. This feud has been heating up over the past couple of days. I'm telling you guys what, this match is one you do not want to miss. This is what I'm really excited for. This is what I'm most excited for throughout this whole night. So now it's time that we go and talk, now it's time to go to that interview with John E. Smith. As I said again, ladies and gentlemen, this was a pre-recorded interview, and we were unable to get a hold of John E. Smith after the incident with El Luchador, the wrestler, versus I Am Righteous for the Smoky Mountain Wrestling World Heavyweight Promo Championship of the world. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, was an open challenge, and well, now the new Smoky Mountain Wrestling World Heavyweight Promo Champion of the world is El Luchador, the wrestler. Yeah, so, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, after these short messages, we will be back with the interview with John E. Smith. And go to commercial.
Where can you find custom wrestling belts at outrageous prices? Crazy Mark's Belt Emporium. You want to be a 16, 17, or 18-time world champion?
We got you covered.
You want to strut around the house like a douche nozzle because you have the belt that so-and-so dropped in the trash can when they dropped the bomb back in the Monday Night Wars?
We got you covered there too.
Crazy Mark's Belt Emporium.
We take your E-Fed into reality.
If you have 48 wrestlers, we have 47 belts just for you.
Here's a testimonial from a dedicated customer.
Ask us about our bowl crate. Participation should be an art. That's
Crazy Mark's Belt Emporium,
where everyone wins.
Smoky Mountain Wrestling is brought to you today by Stiff Nipples Air Conditioning Service. Yes, Stiff Nipples. You know it's cold. and by Big Boobs Cafe. Big Boobs Cafe. Fellas, do I really have to say anything more? Now let's get back to the action.
Good evening. Welcome, Mr. Smith. How are you doing this evening?
Oh, John, he'd be fine. How you doing? Oh, I'm doing good. Need to work on that handshake a little bit. It's kind of soft. Anyway.
All right. So, what is it that you think about I Am Righteous, him and his...
Oh, I see where you're going with this question. You want to talk to me about his title reign as the Smoky Mountain Wrestling heavyweight promo champion of the world. Is that what you want to know? Well, I think that he is at his peak right now. You see, when he came along, he was a real life, honest to God manager at these wrestling shows. And so Smoky Mountain Wrestling reached out to him and said, "Come home, brother. It is we need you as one of the elite here in Smoky Mountain Wrestling." And I believe they found him in a dumpster when they picked him up. So anyway, he was kind of down on his luck, and I think that that's what makes him the key at this point in the history of the Smoky Mountain Wrestling Heavyweight Promo Championship. You understand? He is the ultimate underdog. He has come from a dysfunctional family. He was dog bit when he was like 7 or 8 years old. Dog took his face off. And that's an honest God's shoot.
Oh, man.
So, I think that he is the right man at the right place at the right time. And his future, it looks bright.
So, out of everyone here in the Smoky Mountain Wrestling, who is it do you think may be able to one day take that title from I Am Righteous?
Oh, as the way that it stands right now, nobody. Nobody will touch it. And that even goes for El Luchador. Because you understand, he is a man with everything to lose. And a man with everything to lose is the most dangerous man.
All right, so what makes you think that El Luchador, the wrestler...
Oh, I'm glad you pronounced that right. He gets kind of tissy about that. He gets all up in a tiff. Go ahead.
All right, so what do you think about what makes you think that El Luchador doesn't have it in him to take that title?
Well, I just think that it's not a matter of him not having it in him. It's just IMR has so much momentum right now. I mean, you saw he went through 3 other men, and he retained the championship. So I'm saying that, looking looking outside in, he's on fire, and I don't know if there's anything that can put that out right at this particular moment.
All right. I can see where you're coming from there. So what is it do you think about the current state of El Luchador, the wrestler?
Well, now that's a tricky one right there, because he's more complex than IMR. There's so many different levels or layers to the El Luchador character. I think that right now as a tag team champion, he represents Smoky Mountain Wrestling with machismo. I like using that word. It's a good word. He taught me that word. Up until then, all I knew about the Spanish language was burrito and taco. He showed me a lot. So I'm just saying that right now, as a tag team champion, the tag team division is strong with the EWO right there. And I've got to give it up to those partners of his, because they have shown him what it's like to have to work with somebody. Because throughout his career, he was a singles wrestler. And it wasn't until he came to Smoky Mountain Wrestling that he said, "You know what? I'm going to go into the tag team division." And he went into the tag team division, and here he is.
And now he's at the top of the tag team mountain.
Absolutely.
That's just one of the many that he has climbed and conquered since he's been here in Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
For sure.
And, okay, so besides El Luchador the wrestler and I Am Righteous, who do you think in this particular company has what it takes to make it to the next level?
To make it to the next level. Well, I see the Smiley Feelgood out there, and he's dealing with his own baggage right now. He's got baggage coming over from his dad and from his uncle. I think that there's a spark of greatness there. I think that it was ingenious how Brian Nix, how he went into this match under the pretenses of being Riley Saint, and it turns out to be that it wasn't him. It was Brian. That was ingenious. But who do I think is ready for the next level? I'll tell you what, I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. I gotta put some serious thought. You hit me with a tough question, and I can't answer that at this point. Maybe I'll come back to it.
All right. So, what do you think about the current state of Smoky Mountain Wrestling since you left office?
Well, I think there was some people who was taken out of the locker room, who was taken out of the status of elite for Smoky Mountain Wrestling, and I think that it is a new day. Am I saying that they were lackadaisical? Probably, possibly. And I know that, with the rules and regulations being set forth, I feel like some of those guys just didn't read them, wasn't paying attention, and for that backlash, I think that it was much needed, because these guys in the locker room, they don't need to think that they can run the show. And even though I stepped away, I will tell you the board of trustees is still in charge, and they will be laying out punishment and rewards as they see fit.
All right. So, you yourself, what do you see yourself doing now? Now that you're out of office, I mean, what are you doing? What are you up to?
Oh, well, that's easy. I am the talent coordinator for the two hottest stars here in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. It is my job to make sure that they are on at the shows that they say that they're going to be on, and they are required to be on. It is my day-to-day business to make sure that Smoky Mountain Wrestling knows what's going on inside and outside of both of those two men. And yes, I'm not supposed to talk about them being at odds right now, but I think that once I get that worked out, once that they get on the same page and they can swallow their differences, then I think that I have a likely chance of making a dynasty here in Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
All right. Well, John E., it was great getting to sit down and talk to you.
You're not going to ask me no more questions about a luchador and IMR? I can't talk about that. Go ahead. I want to sit over here and I'm going to make sexy faces at the camera while you talk us out. And it's going to be the hardest thing for you to do.
Well, thank you, Johnny, for coming in. I appreciate getting to sit down and talk to you.
Listen, can I go on record saying something here? I am one funny son of a bitch. I ain't playing. I know I am. Hey, I'm going to show you how to do this, okay? Hey, look, thank you for joining us here for the Sit Down Sunday with your guest, me, John E. Smith.